You may notice and be concerned about bare areas on your property, those areas where the topsoil has been removed. At these locations, a lack of ground cover and exposed soils has allowed wind and water erosion to strip away valuable topsoil. There are a number of ways you can address this erosion and repair the bare areas on your property. You should first consider if your grazing management is appropriate for this area and seek advice if you're unsure. Prior to attempting remediation, you'll need to exclude livestock. Jute mesh provides a temporary ground cover, encouraging and protecting young plants to establish and grow at the same time protecting soil from erosion. Most people with a few basic tools and skills can install jute themselves. So, how do you go about installing mesh? Firstly, make sure you're wearing the proper protective equipment. You'll need to purchase the jute mesh, pins, seed, and have a mallet and shovel. These materials can be purchased at your local rural or landscaping store. There are 3 different lengths of pins depending on your soil type. The looser the soils, the longer the pins. 2 people pulling the top edge tight and pinning in place every 2 to 3 metres. Pull the bottom edge tight and pin. To ensure that the top edge is not dislodged by water flow, take extra care when pinning that top edge down. And when laying more than one row of jute, overlap the edges by about 100 mil and pin your overlap together. Put one pin about every square metre to secure the mesh in place. Once installed, the jute mesh will give protection to seedlings and young plants, allowing ground cover to establish. You may have woody debris lying around on your property, which can be a very effective tool in managing soil erosion, and of course it's very cost effective. Laying branches over bare ground can assist by protecting the soil from wind, rain and sun, allowing plants to re-establish. Do not use garden prunings or bring in other materials from off-site, as they may introduce weeds into your erosion areas. To assist with establishing ground cover, you should broadcast seed around the area. If the vegetation is native, then broadcast a sterile cover crop such as rye corn. If you're in an area of improved pasture, then consider the species present and look to replicate what is already present on site. You could also plant tube stock into the mesh. Be sure to check your structures, particularly after heavy rain, and carry out any necessary maintenance. Another option that you could do yourself is to apply hay to the bare areas. But keep in mind that when using hay, there can be a possibility of bringing weeds to your property, as it may contain seed. You could consider laying jute mesh over the hay if you're concerned it will blow away. To get the most from your new erosion control activities, you should remove pressure from stock and vehicles around your eroded area. This will allow ground cover to establish and reduce stock impacts, and will create a vegetation buffer to slow surface water runoff and trap fine sediments. Keep in mind that some bare areas are a result of a high salt content in the soil. If this is the case, we recommend that you seek professional advice.